Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We'll have for you this good old boy. He's a southerner from the United States who is a pipeline worker, comes from a family of pipeline workers. He's going to tell us how badly he and his have been affected by Joe Biden's and the Biden administration's knee-jerk and utterly senseless reaction to cancelling the Keystone XL Pipeline. This is what Biden meant when he said America's back. What he meant was globalism's back. The America of the Obama era, even the Bush era, in that the globalists held sway. The globalists did that classic globalist thing of taking decisions that are just nonsensical. The only way you can make sense of any decision a globalist makes is when you look at their decision through the lens of they are actively trying to harm their own country. They are actively trying to stifle their own country and to push their own country back. This is the only way you can look at globalist decisions to understand what they're doing. If you think that Joe Biden and the Biden globalist administration have your best interests at heart and you look at their decisions through that lens, you will often be left thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. Why did they take that decision? So he's going to tell you, this guy's going to tell you what's happened to him, his family, how he's feeling on it, and then I'm going to make some very good points that I feel that I need to make, because the Biden administration have left half-finished pipelines all over the place. They've got the southern Mexican border, which is half-finished. There's holes in it all over the place. Half-finished walls, half-finished pipelines. It's just ridiculous. So let's get into this video now. But if you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this around to social media. I could really do with your help now more than ever, because I'm trying to grow this small channel in an era of independent commentary channels being stifled. Okay, let's go. Okay, so over to this gentleman.
This is all I know how to do. The recent administration has taken my livelihood from me and expected me to get a job somewhere else. I've got my whole life invested in this.
Jason Jernigan joins us now. Jason, it's not easy to come up on television and talk to people about how your livelihood, you feel, has been taken from you. It was a very good paying job, and your son is also in the business. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yes, thank you, Dana. Thank you all for having me too, by the way. I'm a third generation oil and gas worker. My son would make the fourth generation. My grandfather worked for Texas Eastern, retired. He worked for the gas company, and my dad is a 45-year member of 798, and he retired in 2010, and I've been in 798 since 1999, and it's 21 years I have invested here.
And you were about to...
So these are entire families that have been put out. This isn't a case of you have a family where one member works in like a grocery store or as an administrator, another one works somewhere else, and then another works somewhere else, and then you get to grandpa or even just father who works in the oil industry who's lost his job. You have entire families working in the industry who, at the stroke of a pen, these are blue-collar guys, these are salt-of-the-earth guys, these are proper American, all-American, that kind of Americana type thing, right? Those type of families. You know, flag-waving, God-loving people, yes? Biden, with the stroke of a damn pen, an overpriced pen for hearty, you know, these la-di-da type latte drinking people, and with a stroke of his pen he's put these whole families out. They've got mortgages, right? They've got all these things to pay. A lot of them have very heavy mortgages because the industry pays a lot of money. So they've built their own house, a beautiful big house, or they've bought a beautiful big house with a large mortgage, and now the entire family is out of a job at the stroke of one pen. And Joe Biden was the man who said that he's for the working class, he's for the blue collar people, he's for those all-American, Americana people. Yeah, right. He's for the latte drinking crowd.
You had been hired to work on the Keystone Pipeline when then President Biden made that announcement in January, and that job went away?
Yes, ma'am. I was hired previously, a few months ago when President Trump signed off working.
So this is what I mean. Look, it's all, you've got half-built pipelines all over the place. All over the place. Like with the southern Mexican border, the US and Mexican border. You've got half-built borders all over the place. It must be just me, but when I think of an administration that is allowing half-built borders to exist and half-built pipelines to just lay littered all over the place, you have to question the sanity of these people. But that's what I mean. You can only make sense of the globalist decisions when you look at it through the lens of they are doing things to actively harm their own country, to cause a crash. That's what I personally believe is happening when you look through the lens at what these globalists are doing, because it doesn't make any sense.
To go, and it was going to go, and I was hired to work. It was actually supposed to start next month, and I was actually hired on the Keystone when President Obama was in office, and it got canceled that time. I was hired on it then too.
It's unbelievable. Jason, what do you do now? How are you going to make a living?
That's a good question, Mr. Bill. I have an answer for that. I'm 45 years old. This is all I know how to do. I spent my whole life learning this craft and this skill, and it's not as easy as somebody might think, or people might think, to just start all over at 45 years old. I mean, I guess I could possibly get a job as a greeter at Walmart. I don't know.
It's just sad, isn't it, to hear a man of this stature say he could get a job as a greeter at Walmart, but they wouldn't employ him because he is of a miner's stock. And it's not just a skill thing. I mean, he is going to be an alpha male type, rugged type man. And these 19-year-old line managers, these 19-year-old kind of skinny latte type guys with blue hair, who tick other on the box when he gets like a census form through the post. He ticks other instead of man. That type of person's not going to employ this guy to work in a grocery store because he'll be intimidated by him. He will likely be prejudiced against him because he's quite clearly going to be someone who would vote Republican. And blue-haired type latte drinking men who tick the other box, they always of course vote for blue no matter who. But this other trope about where they can just go and get a job making solar panels. Who's making these solar panels? Where are they based? Who knows?
I don't have an answer for that. I really don't.
What did you say? What did you think when climate czar John Kerry, former Secretary of State, suggested that people like you at 45, instead of starting over, that you could just get a different job in solar panels?
Well, it's really, first of all, I mean, I haven't been offered a job in the solar panel industry, and I haven't been sent an application or a phone number or anything. I don't know if I have to do the work and the groundwork and everything it takes to get there.
Right.
And secondly, I mean, it's if I've done the research. If I went to work for the solar panel right now, I would be taking a $35 an hour pay cut and lose my benefits and retirement.
That's a huge cut. $35 an hour is a huge cut. And more than that, what's more important is his retirement, what he's talking about. This guy's 45, okay? What about this man's retirement? he would be looking to retire in 15, maybe 20 years. And if he's got to start at the bottom, if he does get a job as a greeter at Walmart, you're not even going to get a pension, for heaven's sakes. I just feel so sorry for these people. And Joe Biden, who I honestly, it still makes my mind just shudder when I think about how this man is the leader of the free world. He's the president of the United States. With a stroke of the pen, he obliterates the very base he appealed to when he was running for president. He said he was going to look after blue-collar people. He's all about those blue-collar people. Yet they are the first people that he directly harmed. The second people he harmed was when he launched all those bombs over in Syria. Because apparently protecting the United States' interest in Syria is more important than everything that's going at home. It's ridiculous. What's happening in Iraq as well? That's gearing up again as well. It's not needed. It doesn't help anyone. Leave these countries alone and fix what's happening in the United States. Why are we preoccupied about actually fighting, military fighting, to secure a pipeline from Syria to Turkey, when with a stroke of a pen, you obliterate the pipelines in your own country? Why are pipelines from Syria to Turkey good, but pipelines from Canada to the United States bad? You're going to have to explain that to me, because I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not in the loop. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the whole Keystone Pipeline situation. Let me know what you think about this poor man's situation. Do you think it's going to get better? And let me know what you think also. I know I've said it a couple of times, but it's just, when the thought hit my brain, I was just amazed at the stupidity of it. Let me know what you think about the situation where we have half-finished border walls and half-finished pipelines just littering in America, just all over the place. Half-finished motorways. You know, you've got Pelosi's tunnel and Chuck Schumer's bridge. I mentioned that in my last video. Half-finished bridges, half-finished tunnels. Globalist madness. It's madness. And do you know what's even worse? You're paying for it. That's how much of little regard they have for your money. They wouldn't be spending their own money on half-finished bridges, half-finished pipelines and walls. Their vanity projects get funded by your money, with your taxpayer money, by your hard work. And how does that make you feel? I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.